Malungit tutaw, mergid other belau roku ngaratsel my clear belau malungit tutaw mergid. Mr. President, good morning to you. Vice President, Madirekal President of Senate, Hokons Paules, Madirekal Speaker of House of Delegates, Sabino Anastasio, Marogulo Gurbelau, Reclay, my bedul, malungit tutaw le gorgomio, Madirekal Biru, my epireclay, with tutaw Marogun, Mesil, Marubach, Telbulur, Belau, Rokil, ngaratsel my clear belau, Matlubaw le tutaw, Hesorae. Ngarinya special guest gidera tutau elanga ngal garbelau dia natelo geringi di apela tir belau ya mala atra part di wainga tala tir belau at maka atra magyala se okay but anyway nganga ngatianga ngatelo special credentials ni man gora mal impressive oh masar ngo geringi dai galiti sela toil mdugur ni malo pem nora school kirel. The aware about the start, the Solan Sakil was a callback number give 488-4848. Okay, 488-4848. Solang asugum com eska questions. Terrible moholo telodawa questions give. Nkanga retired United States Army Light Colonel or Lieutenant Colonel. Am I right? Okay, and he's going to try to answer every question related to military, and he just retired. I heard he just retired from Army, okay? We're going to discuss how many years he's been in and how long he was in and what kind of MOS he's got, you know. All of that stuff will be asked later. But first of all, good morning. With Tutan Mergita Rogui, Solang and Sokil, Michael Moon Sang, Makipa Mamora program. Etiang la title ngil sure Mama Army one-on-one. Army one-on-one. Pagwase agididul Army ang yang asema kangatiang ay share ideas maungil information and kinel United States Army and its military. And as you all know, there's about 800 to 1,000 military personnel, both Army, Navy, and Air Force, and to include the Marines. That's going to be doing their training here in Palau. So it's good and a right time to have Mr. Anson to be with us this morning to address some of the issues that we are experiencing with our young men and women serving at this time with the United States military, and they're all over the world. Okay, madalwa say malungit to town mergid rogoy. We're going to speak English in and out. English, Palawan, they're both official language. So he can understand Palawan. So if you want to ask your questions in Palawan language, do it. You know, he'll understand it. And if not, I'll help him out. Okay, madalwa say sola malungit to tale gorgaw, Mr. Anson. Lieutenant Colonel retired Anson will to tale gorgaw. Welcome aboard. Maikam laiko.
So first, I want to thank you for your service, a Vietnam veteran,
yes,
and a retiree from the Army,
right,
and everything you've done to enhance media relations and,
right,
and communications here in Palau since coming back home in 1990. So you were coming back when I was leaving. I left in 1990. I moved to California, and I stayed with my uncle and aunt in Northern California, and joined the Army from there.
As enlisted man.
I enlisted.
Yeah.
I enlisted 11 Charlie, so indirect fire infantry.
Infantry,
orders.
Oh man.
Yes. But after maybe 4 years of that, my first duty station was in Fort Ord, California.
I was there.
Were you? Okay.
I took my basic there.
Really? Yes. Beautiful area.
Galinas and what's it?
Monterey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Inside. It's a nice place.
It is.
My basics. My company was D11.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was my company. I took my basic there, and then from there
I
went across the continent. I mean, the United States to Georgia for my AIT.
Oh, for AIT. Yeah, I did Fort Benning.
Because
it was one-stop unit, so we did basic training there, and then did AIT in the same area.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. You joined the military after college? Did you have some college education before?
No, I did 3 years here in Palau High School.
Palau High School?
And then I finished my senior year in California, and then I enlisted.
So you graduated from high school in California, and you went in as infantry, enlisted.
E1.
Where did you go after that? You went to OCS?
So after 4 years, I realized, I don't like walking and carrying stuff. so I changed my MOS to
I see.
71 Delta at the time.
Okay, MOS is stand for a military occupation status.
My job.
Job title, okay.
So I changed to a military paralegal, and I did that for 5 years, and then someone told me, and I had accumulated enough going to college at night. There was no online college back then.
Proud of you.
So they said, why don't you put it in a packet? So I did. I got accepted and went to officer candidate school, back to Fort Benning.
You know, I was in for 23 years, and the best officers I ever come across are the OCS. West Point, they're a bunch of assholes. You know, and OCS, I like them because they can relate to me as enlisted man.
Yes.
So you spend some time as enlisted man, so you know how it feels to be a private corporal and all of that stuff.
Yes.
You know? So when you become officer, you more like you can relate to who am I and what I do as enlisted man because you've been there once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was more. I understood, I guess, like how much time it takes to do something.
Right.
So when I give an order, I know it has to. You know, my sergeants need time to relay the order to their people. They need time to prepare, go through their troop leading procedures, and make the mission happen, and then report back. So it helped me in that sense as a junior officer.
Before we go any further, can I just do a short introduction?
Absolutely.
Kita other belawa umsin was kangalageta. Either you say your father or your mother. Mahalago ay say bela unkanga Lieutenant Colonel Anson, J. Anson. Sorang inganga I'm now retired military. Sora lekotel mo soldado. Ilbot soldado and bitilog tra high school mo soldado mo mlestat ngara private temrayan. And after a while ngara soldado no tigring ilwa say why not become an officer. Ngara program na army elom ko nila say OCS, Officers Candidate School, 6 months. Okay? Self apply mo ra OCS tira review a record daw e mergo say accepted or not. And din gar sera apply temle accepted ngi mumlora OCS. Malbora OCS and gigim lumre ke mergo nga self graduate tra OCS in automatically second lieutenant.
Yes.
Second lieutenant, and then after maybe 6 months or a year, then you look at first lieutenant. What's this? Okay. Mangare lang ngarngia ngalkel artir belau keki Anson, como ngalia tour mel keki Anson, say namos mer de harapon get that time, but that's her biological mother. The sister and older brother, Jennifer Anson, National Security Advisor, or she's in charge of the national security. Okay, and Anson, Jennifer Anson is holding a master's degree, and you're holding what?
I have 2 master's degrees, one in information management and the other one in military art and science.
Okay. So you felt like the sky is the limit. Sky is the limit when it comes to education.
Absolutely.
Mangam long e merkoe tiaka stopel ngara school. Oh, magtegi da resume ngi el muy dia dongo ibringi le modi hatime ding muy. Okay. E solang e mal impressive ay gal to nga sela gang of beviringa dia kutngelen. You know, I'm a high school step out or drop out, whatever you call it, you know. But no, I'm just kidding. I furthered my education after I got in the Army.
So did I.
Okay, I didn't stop, you know. So I got my associate degree, and then I said, well, I'm shy of 3 credit hours to get my bachelor's. But I said, what the heck, you know? I'm just like a Bill Gates.
Yep.
Even college is wasting my time. I already know this stuff, you know. So instead, him and Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, David Allen.
Yeah, they all got together. They don't have a college degree. So, you know, you may have a higher education, but if you don't know how to use that education, you're nobody. Okay? So anyway, you said, how do you do the summary, eh? I say, I am certified and experienced information technology professional and project manager with proven expertise in cybersecurity and cyber defense strategy and processes. Okay? spell out ay gigi de droguin. Nga lang dia ka problem bringil si ka siya bringil aplo amplikel. Eres ay mada do mon mo getting. So what are you doing now? You went to school, you got your degree. After 20-some years, you retired. He retired as a lieutenant colonel. Como dali akam 16? Mo siya rank aktir. Direct tara angklela light colonel. Okay, es el full colonel, full bird colonel and wasi iko. Seguida, ndingare lang decide after 20 years eligible to retire. You made the right decision because I did the same thing. I could have stayed in and became a sergeant major. So what the heck? By the time I get out, I'm old already. I got money, but I cannot enjoy it. So I retired after 23.
Yes.
What about you?
I went to 29 and made the same decision essentially. So when you get promoted to certain ranks, you have to stay in a certain amount of time. You have obligated service. So at the end of my last service obligation, I retired.
You retired after 22 years?
29.
29 years? 29 years, man, that's a lot of years.
They got me. Every time I was looking at retiring, they would promote me, so I'd stay a little longer.
If I accepted the appointment to Sergeant Major Academy,
yes,
then I had to serve 2 more years.
4 years, yes.
In addition, they want to get their money back.
Yes.
So anyway, 29 years, you're retired now. Where are you residing at this time?
So I live in South Florida. My last duty assignment was with U.S. Southern Command. Mm-hmm. They're in Miami, Florida, and I served there for 5 years. And that's where I got into cybersecurity and cyber defense. I was in charge of the cybersecurity and cyber defense for all of the military operations in South America, Central America, and the Caribbean. And
that's a highly technical job.
It was, yes. So a lot of training and a lot of just practical experience defending computer networks from bad actors that would try to penetrate and steal our secrets, our data. So it was a constant 24/7 effort.
Okay. This is your motherland.
Yes.
Koteme. Your mom's from here, so no matter what, you're from Palau.
Yes.
My question is, do you have any future plan to return home? Because why I'm saying that, because there's so many of us join the military or get our education, said stay in the United States because jobs.
Yes.
Did you ever plan maybe sometimes in the future you want to come home and help us on a nation building? Because expertise.
And that's part of the reason I'm here. So after I retired, I actually retired in June of 2019.
I see.
I came home in July, spent some time with my family, and started looking at the opportunities, and listening to a lot of the communication that was going on and where the direction Palau was heading, and there was a lot of talk about becoming more high tech and becoming more of a hub for technology and finance and things of that nature here in the Pacific and throughout Asia, throughout the region. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I went back and I was going to come back in February of 2020. Unfortunately, COVID, the pandemic broke out. I had to cancel my flight. Mm-hmm. So since then, I've just been waiting for the right time to come back and spend more time with my family and see what's going on, and I'm really excited.
Did you come home and your mom passed away?
I couldn't. The border was
because the border was closed. Yeah. Pandemic, yeah. Okay. At least you came home and visit.
Yes.
Yeah.
We FaceTimed. Mm-hmm. Pretty sad time for our family, but
your mom was a very active member of the community.
Yes.
She was outspoken, yes. And when things don't go right or fair, she'll be the first one to jump on it and make it right.
Yes.
That's how I know her. When we meet in at public functions, she said, "Yes, how you doing?" Because when I first got here, I became so controversial person.
Yes.
I went after politicians, corruptions, and all of that. Within 1 year, my first year, they burned 3 cars. They attempt to take, my life. But I said, if I was not meant to be killed in Vietnam and Almighty want me to die for my country for doing the right thing, let it be. Yeah. And I went. So Palau slowly changed. Environmentally speaking, it changed because I said, well, shame on you if you just throw trash on the side of the road. Trash is our enemy. Get this place cleaned up,
Yes.
So I was very active on this stuff, And now I'm 72 years old, so I'm slowing down.
Right.
I'm doing like documentary work. I just came back from Las Vegas after I visited Hawaii. There's some of our patients going to hospital there.
Okay.
So they visit. When you stop in Hawaii for like a layover.
Layover?
Yeah. Just call them up and go and visit. Those people need attention. They need somebody to save.
Okay, I will do that.
So when you have time, stop by Hawaii. I don't fly straight from Houston to Hawaii, connect to Guam. I don't do that.
Oh, I did that this time. It's probably the last time I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
That was
you
brutal.
need a couple of days break, get you a nice room, nice hotel in Honolulu,
Relax.
and rest, and then a couple of days later, you get on the flight and continue, So take a break. And when you do that, I recommend that make arrangements to visit those people. Maybe, just maybe, 1 or 2 of them are your relatives.
Right.
And those people that are being admitted to Tripler most of them are cancer.
Oh. Okay.
Cancer patients, So.
No, I'll definitely make an effort to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the doctors there, we go. You see, this is how it works. United States is funding the whole program.
Right.
But they have to work with the local doctors, and then they review the records and I say, okay, we take this case, this one here we cannot. And so they said cannot, and we route them to to Taiwan and the Philippines. So medically speaking, we're okay. National insurance is in place. So if you do decide to come home, I never use my medical benefits.
Oh, okay.
I never use it here because VA hospital and naval hospitals in Guam, which cost me about $600 or $700 to go to dispensary or hospital in Guam. So what we do, I'm a businessman right now, and I just pay my insurance through deduction, pay the deduction because I'm employee of this company.
Yep.
So there's a deduction in there, and they pay my medical insurance. So I had a surgery on my eye. I flew to Philippines instead of went to Tripler.
Right.
And it's paid for, so I'm good to go. So you're thinking about coming home. Have you seen anything attractive? The kind of
yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of the initiatives that are going on now with diversification of the economy. Tourism is going to revitalize. It's going to come back. People are going to come back. Palau is beautiful. So I'm a scuba diver. I got certified here in Palau, and I've dove all over the world. Nothing compares to the diving here.
So come home.
I want to come home and dive. But aside from that, the fintech initiatives that the Ministry of Finance is working on, the digital residency program, the aquaculture, revitalizing the agriculture. So I was surprised that Ngurigil, the egg farm, had closed. I didn't know that.
No, it's not really closed. It was privatized.
Privatized.
Yeah.
But it doesn't supply as much eggs as it used to. Agriculture isn't what it was. What I remember when I was growing up. There's a lot of facilities, but not a lot of activity, from what I understand. So. But
see, I know some of you said this is his show, not your show. Just share up this, but I would like to share some of this information to you if you didn't know. So if you know, disregard it. But if you don't know, please listen.
I know it's important.
Yeah. I like the way Ngurigil came about with their farm. They started it and proved that it works, and then after that, they took it. They gave it or sold it to a private person. And the guy that is running that farm is related to me. Matter of fact, I buy eggs from time to time. And that's how you help the community grow.
Yes.
Okay? Just like the government. Government, you shouldn't own radio station and television station. Start it, and when it start working, sell it to private citizens, which they hire, pay tax, everything. So, in that regards, let's talk about China Air. China Air is owned by Taiwan government.
Okay.
They bought 100%. After a while, they said, okay, we're going to sell 70% of the stocks to a local people, private people.
Okay.
But the government owns 30%.
Right.
So 70% belongs to the community, society, the country.
Yes.
But the 30% is by the government. Okay, and each shares they sell, nobody buy more than 10 shares.
Okay.
Why? So the government still controlled, but in a sense, everybody is part of the.
They have a stake.
Smart, yeah?
Yes.
That's smart. And I'm proud that your expertise, we're into digital residency.
Yes.
They're talking about the black coins or
stable coin.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. And which is it's a new technology that
yes.
I don't know anything about. And just last night, they said Bitcoin crash.
Yes.
I said, oh Lord, people lost millions. Those people invested with Bitcoin, they're in trouble.
Yes.
And I knew it. I had the feeling like this is not real. Something is not right. So when I saw that, I called my friends. I said, get away from Bitcoin.
Right.
But anyway, talking about cyberspace, what is it that you see here? What I'm concerned about is Palau already got their second submarine cable, fiber optic.
Yes.
Okay, we got the first one link us to Guam by way of Tokomo. Okay, and then we go from here, we connect the second cable from here to Singapore.
Singapore. Yep.
Yeah. So I was so surprised when I was walking down on Vegas Boulevard. It took my iPhone 11 and watched my President State of the Union address.
Yes.
Live here in Palau, and I'm watching it in Las Vegas.
Right.
And I said, man, technology is
technology. Yes.
So, with your expertise in that particular field that you held in the military, how can you use that expertise to help Palau?
So, with any growth, especially in the information technology field, there are bad people out there who want to take advantage of that and find a way to, whether it's laundering money or stealing information, stealing sensitive data about people so they can do nefarious acts, like blackmailing, intellectual property, things of that nature. So it's important as you expand any kind of network, like putting another fiber cable in, establishing a digital residency program, establishing a cryptocurrency or a stable coin, which are two different things. A stable coin is usually tied to the dollar, so you're not going to lose your entire livelihood unless the dollar goes away. But cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, there is some volatility.
Yeah.
It uses blockchain technology, which, given time...
What's the difference between blockchain and Bitcoin?
So Bitcoin is the actual cryptocurrency. The blockchain is the technology that secures it. And it uses, if you can imagine a warehouse full of hundreds of servers and equipment, so every time there's a transaction, they process it and you mint. It's this process of making more coins to sell to more people, and so the value is gained the more transactions that occur. Whereas a stable coin is different in that it's the same as a dollar, except you don't have to carry cash around with you. For example, I went to lunch yesterday at the Canoe House, and part of the incentive to eat there, they give you canoe bucks, these little paper coupons that you can bring back, and
Oh.
and it gives you like $2 off of your next meal. Well, a stable coin would be worth $2 anyways, but you don't have to carry it. You carry it in your phone, and you can scan your phone and pay and get the $2 discount if you go back to the canoe house to eat.
Sir, I went, like I said, I went to Vegas. I was surprised. That the new, I call it new norm.
Yes.
All you need is credit card or debit card with your iPhone or your phone.
That's all I use.
Because I went over there and that's how I learned QR. What is QR? Quick response. How do you use that? Can I have a menu? No, sir. You don't. QR.
Yes.
And there's a napkin holder right in the middle of the table. It's got a Q. You see that? It's a square.
Yes.
A lot of dots in there. Yeah. That's a QR. Oh, I see. So how you use it? Just your, iPhone is equipped like when you take a picture of that.
Yep.
Everything has come to life.
Right.
So Imelda did it, and they say, see, that's just fried chicken. So all of that big menu and everything, is not on the table. It's right there. You're going into airline.
Everything's digital.
Everything digital.
With your phone.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of there's a lot of goodness in that, because I mean Palau is very environmentally conscious. We're very with the marine sanctuary.
That's right.
Keeping paper and plastic and things and trash off the roads and out of the
So what do you think about us? Are we clean? Is our country clean?
It is. I think so.
Compared
there's a lot of trash that I think it's floating in from other places.
Oh yeah.
But compared to what I remember growing up, there's definitely a lot less trash and pollution here. And
when I came after I retired, and I was so pissed off, we still have the old bridge, man. All kinds of graffiti.
I remember.
Oh man, it's so dirty, And the first impression, anybody comes to Palau, the first impression is they see the place is trash, they're gonna join up and trash the damn place.
Yes.
But if you show them that environment is our responsibility, then everybody comes into Palau will follow that.
Yes.
So you gotta set example.
And I think things like the pledge, that you take at the airport to take care of the environment, the fees that you pay, it's a conscious decision to pay money and pledge that you're going to take care of the environment while you're visiting. Initiatives like that were very, very useful.
The smart thing we did, we came up with a marine sanctuary.
Yes.
That
was amazing.
Our tourists come in and pay to see how clean our country is.
Yes.
And we just had Ocean Conference, not too long ago.
Yes, I watched it on streaming.
Did you?
With the technology, that enormous screen that was in the gymnasium. That was very impressive.
We didn't pay for it. Nature Conservancy and other NGOs donated lump sum money in millions of dollars.
Yes.
And we fixed the entire gymnasium and also
the area around it is
surrounding
really
it.
Nice. Yes.
And we already have trained our young children to keep this place clean for them in the future.
Right.
Yeah, and they're doing it. They're so proud of their environment. And I give a lot of credits to our former president, Tamir Musa, because he is the champion, environment, the champion in anywhere in the world. Because he went to UN and said the idea of keeping the place clean, and now everybody believing in that. If we trust this ocean of ours, and the fish, where are they going to go? And being poisonous because they eat poison from plastics and all of that stuff.
That's one of the differences between here and South Florida. A lot of the fish in South Florida that you catch, it's catch and release, and it's not because they're trying to save the fish, it's because they're not edible. Like barracuda. I caught a barracuda. I was so happy. I'm like, I'm going to fillet it. I'm going to have meat for like a month. And they're like, well, you can't eat it. You're going to get sick.
Barracuda, when I was in Florida, I was stationed at Homestead Air Force Base.
Oh, okay. Down the street.
So Key Largo was the first that you go, And so I drive to Key Largo, and there's a Pigeon Key, I think it was.
Yes.
I go there, and then overnight put up my pub tent, and then fish.
Yes.
And when I catch barracuda, I look at it and I say, man, this thing is good. And they told me that all you gotta do is scrape the bones. It's right inside. You scrape it off because that's a poison. But I didn't try it because I was afraid.
No, I'm not gonna mess with it.
But it's fun to catch them.
Yes.
It's
fun. It's challenging.
Yeah.
But I'm Palauan, so I like to eat what I catch. I'm not used to throwing my fish back into the ocean.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I mean, you catch everything you want, you eat it. It's amazing.
Let's talk about economy.
Okay.
Okay. Not economy. World economy is up, and I'll call it inflation.
Oh yes.
Okay, because when inflation comes from everything are not in line in a sense. For us in the military, we're good because we have what we call COLA, cost of living allowance. Yeah.
Right.
So when you station in Hawaii, your COLA is in thousands. So when you station in Fort Gordon, Georgia, it's down. So that COLA right there, they use it to make adjustment for high cost of living area like New York, California, Hawaii, So if Palau come up with COLA, and make people's pay adjusted every year, then I think we start, when we do that, I think everybody will be happy. Because the buying power of their money is still the same. If I retired making $2,500, okay, the buying power of that $2,500 will remain because the adjustment, they just gave us over $100 adjustment to our Social Security.
Okay.
Okay. You haven't experienced that. How long have you been retired?
3 years.
3 years. You're gonna see it. They're giving us they make adjustment to our retirement.
Yes.
So I really like that. Now, Palau is facing the same situation.
Okay.
Minimum wage is $3.50, and government sector now is paying about $4. Most of them at $4 because you cannot live on $3.50. Other applications such as Musludo for funerals and other things, house party and all of that stuff. So $3.50 is almost obsolete. It doesn't make sense anymore. But the government have to find a way to pump in more money into the system so they can give people a raise or create what I call cost of living allowance and make adjustments, to everybody's pay. What do you think we should do in order to address the issue of inflation here in Palau?
Wow, no, that's a big question. So I'm not a financial expert beyond my own personal finances. This is just my opinion, and from what I've seen and from what I understand, as from a security standpoint for Palau, economic security is definitely at risk right now because of the hit the tourism industry took because of COVID. So definitely need to diversify into other things to make sure if there's another pandemic, which a lot of experts are saying will happen in the near future, that we're not caught in the same situation. That you have something to fall back on. So a question for you, from that $3.50 minimum wage, how much of that is tax? Like goes back to
the whole thing?
No, how much it goes back to the government as tax?
3.5.
Not 3.5?
6%.
But this total all is how much?
15.5.
15.5, because
for every
payday.
So for every $100, you give $15 back to the government.
Something like that.
So I mean, and those tax dollars go to pay for public service programs. So I've lived what we were talking about earlier. We were both stationed in Germany, in Mannheim and other places. Kaiserslautern.
Yeah.
I was in my first duty station was Frankfurt right after the Cold War, so they closed Frankfurt and moved us to Wiesbaden. Then when I went back, I was in Kitzingen near Würzburg area down in Bavaria.
Yeah.
And then the third time I went back, I spent a total of 12 years in Germany. I loved it.
Loved it?
Spoke German, loved the German food, everything.
I spent 6 years there.
6 years.
Yeah.
I was trying to go back.
So did you ever go to Oktoberfest in Munich?
I went to Oktoberfest twice.
Twice?
Once in 1994 and again in 2010. 2012.
They still do it like the old days, drink and dance non-stop?
It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy, yeah. I mean, you don't have to know anybody. Just grab anybody,
Yeah, just grab a table and
grab a table.
And I like the smaller fests.
Yeah.
Because starting in April, there's a festival in every town, and some are bigger than others, but it's just.
Germany is a very unique place, like every town have their own beer.
Yeah.
Park Brau, and what's the other one? They have. I was drinking. It's a green bottle. I forgot. Park Brau, Lowenbrau.
Lowenbrau.
Yeah, Lowenbrau.
Lowenbrau and Grosch.
Yeah.
Was a very popular.
And then their beer is stronger, 6%. U.S. is 3.2%. You drink a 6-pack German beer, you're drunk already.
Right.
Yeah.
It was. But the other thing I learned there is they pay almost 50% tax.
That's good.
And they have their medical care, their the roads, the infrastructure.
Copenhagen is doing the same thing.
Yes.
50% of their earnings is tax. But they have a free medical,
free school,
free education, free transportation,
yes.
You name it. So the 50% of $100, which comes to $50, let's say, that's their pocket money. But everything is paid for.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not paying. A lot of the variable costs are taken out of the equation, and it's more. It is they build programs that benefit everyone, and there's no question. Who's going to fix the road? Who's going to improve the hospital? Who's going to do this? That it's already known. I'm paying this money. I expect that back. From the government.
This is my own thinking. Let's address the inflation in Palau. I'm looking at the lifestyle have to be readjusted of every Palauans, like they used to. For example, if they're drinking 6-pack every after work, Monday through Friday, 2 beers a night, or reduce that consumption of beer and make some adjustment to other expenses in the family, and that's how you survive through this inflation.
Yeah, and that's where I'm. Like personal finances. I budget and I save money and I spend money for different activities. I make a conscious decision what I want to spend my money on. I don't make a conscious decision that I want to pay taxes. I don't think anybody does. It's a necessity to make any government work. So it's. As far as addressing economic issues like inflation, you have to look at everything holistically. Import taxes, taxes on services, income taxes, which are never popular unless the people paying the taxes see a benefit.
Yeah.
What am I getting for paying, this much taxes?
Are you married?
I am. Yes.
How many years you've been married?
This is my second marriage, so we just got married in November. 6 months.
I beat you because I've been married 5 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You're lucky. You second time around.
You're a good-looking man. Who would keep marrying you? And
but I said you.
What is the word? Brick?
Brick. No, it's not brick. I think some people like yourself. You're lucky.
Yeah. I am. I've been very fortunate.
Second time around, you met the right woman.
Yes.
But me, the next time around, going to be the right one. I said, Lord, give me the right one.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's working with him. I work with him now.
There you go.
I'm working with Lord right now. Please give me something that I deserve, or whoever marry me deserve. But
another thing, don't give up. Life goes on, and other opportunities.
So your wife from here?
No, my wife is from Colombia.
Oh. Her complexion is kind of light, Colombia.
Yes.
So, Spanish.
She's
like my complexion.
very light complexion.
Yeah. So. you don't get people to stare at you like, hey, what you doing? No, I'm not going to. Sometimes I sound like a racist, then, yes, you got to watch your mouth, But,
no,
but anyway, so have you asked your wife, thinking if you're thinking about coming home, have you?
No, she's very excited to come and
has
visit.
She been here?
No, not yet.
Never been here.
She'll be here the next time around.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to line up schedules to visit Palau. So we both work.
For now, yeah.
Right, because there's only one flight.
Right.
A week, so it's really difficult.
By mid next month, they're going to increase flight.
Oh, fantastic.
People are still concerned and they're afraid of COVID-19, so they. I took a chance, Imelda went to Philippines, came back, I said, it's safe now to travel. So I said, okay, let's go to Guam and try it out. So we went to Guam and we came back, we didn't get sick. And I said, okay, now let's go to Hawaii, to United States. So we went around and came back, we still didn't get sick. So now we're thinking about flying again.
So I think the variant now is pretty weak. From my personal experience, I've had COVID 3 times. The first time was like the original COVID. I had no symptoms except maybe the sniffles, like a little runny nose, but no fever. I wasn't on. I didn't feel like I was going to die or anything. The Delta variant, I got really sick. I'm not able to scuba dive now because I got to wait till my lungs are recovered and I passed the pulmonary exams
But now you're not positive.
No. And then the third one
when you wear that, then it's
because I have the grant. I'm following the rules. I'm trying to be a good citizen.
Yeah.
And son of Palau. So,
okay.
And I mean these make sense. I mean it's to like public security and public safety is very important. Yeah. And so programs like this that the Ministry of Health and Human Services do are important. No, but then I had the Omicron, and I had nothing. I didn't even know I was sick. I got tested because someone else was sick that I had been around, so I went and took the test, and I was positive, but it was like nothing. I felt absolutely nothing.
You survived through all 3 of them?
Yes.
Well, we got, what did you get, Pfizer or Moderna?
Moderna.
Okay.
I didn't get sick until after I was vaccinated, which is strange. After the first dose.
You probably had it before you got
I probably did. I just I never left my house to go and get tested.
Yeah. Well, for us here in this company, we didn't want to go and get 2 shots,
No, neither did I.
So what we did, I said, okay, Johnson & Johnson, is it available? Yes, only for the bedridden and disabled. And I said, we're disabled, so please come in. So they came, gave us J3, boom, boom, boom. And then we waited, about 6 months later. Okay, you due for booster.
Yeah.
So we all went and got our booster, and now they said if you're 55 or over, you're due for another booster. So Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to go and get mine. Now I just try to follow the instructions from CDC and the government.
Yes. Yeah, I'm due. I got my second. So my first Moderna shot. So a quick VA story. I made my appointment at the VA in Miami to get my Johnson & Johnson because I wanted the 1 dose. And it was around the time where they suspended Johnson & Johnson because there was some danger to pregnant women, possibly.
Yeah. And I didn't worry about that because that
was my argument. But they didn't tell me. So I kept my appointment, and they're like, all right, you're going to get your first dose today, and then you got to come back in 6 months for your second dose. I was like, wait a minute. Johnson & Johnson is only 1 dose. I was like, well, no, you're getting Moderna. We're not giving Johnson & Johnson. I stayed, I got the shot, and it made me really sick.
I argue with them because, at the time, it's still, until today, we're still working together with EOC, Emergency Operations
Center. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we work with them. Matter of fact, when this COVID, start coming into Palau left and right, I came up as, okay, we're not going to stop. We have to update people where we're at, how many people sick, and all of that. They need to know. The public needs to know. So you know what I did? I changed the broadcasting system of our radio station to do remote broadcast. Okay, we had a phone like this over at the National Hospital.
Okay.
Okay, and the minister and all of his specialists and doctors and everybody sitting over there and talk, and I'm here talking. They watch me, we talk, and we get the message to the public.
Right. No, that's innovation.
We did that for over 2 years. Some of the local stations complaining about it, but I had the expertise. I didn't have to import the expertise. I already have it.
Right.
So anyway, I said I can do it remotely. Okay. Yes. And they were happy until today. I'm still working with them, disseminating information in regards to COVID-19.
They still have the equipment there.
And the equipment still there. Yeah, and not only that, but other customers. The president came here last week, and then the vice president the next day. Senator Rubay was 2 days before them, and we open our doors for them to come in and sit right there because the COVID started.
Yes.
If you have been vaccinated, then I don't have no problem with it.
Right.
Okay, and yet wearing mask is your option. Right. You want to wear it like the way you do it now, or you don't. That's your prerogative. But we finally, after 2 years and a couple of months, we finally opened. So when Mr. Adelbai called me and asked me if you can come on for a talk show, and I said, sure, why not? And you don't have to be a senator to serve your country. You don't have to be delegates to serve your country. You can serve your country from anywhere if you
Absolutely.
choose to.
Right.
Yeah.
So
now I'm still, especially if somebody come with a very educational or highly educational program or information, so come on board. But if you're a businessman, try to sell your merchandise, then you pay.
Right.
But if, like yourself, you come here, information that you have is important to the society and community, come on board. That's how I look at things. Some people disagree with me because they said that I think and talk like them. When they say them, Americans.
Oh.
They don't like. Some people don't like that.
Yeah.
But they can live with it. I think. Anyway, so how many kids? This second time around,
Oh, no kids yet.
Still no kids.
No.
Good.
No kids.
So when you have time, when you're thinking about bringing your wife or family to Palau?
So I'm going to visit more frequently, especially now that the flights are picking up.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm not. So this time, I flew from Fort Lauderdale to Houston. It was like an hour and a half layover. To Hawaii, 45-minute layover, and then to Guam. And by the time I reached Guam, I was
and the cost?
I was pretty wore out. Yeah.
It got expensive.
And yes.
Yeah.
And I was on the flight that was canceled because of whatever the issue was with United not being able to land here at night. That's been resolved. Yeah, I think it's been resolved.
Like I said, we flew twice already, right after. COVID is still here, but anyway, I took a chance just flying out. And I noticed that when the plane takes off, it goes so fast, and then drop. I think they had an issue on that runway. And geological inspection, something like that, people... Investigation. They went to check it, and I think that's a problem right there. I'm assuming that's...
No, the pilot said that there was some procedure they were using that was not, they hadn't recertified to do it, so they had to recertify, and they're able to land at night now. It was on the United side. It had nothing to do with...
but United and Government of Palau together, they can lie big time,
Anything's possible.
Yeah, anything.
But I felt I wasn't. I didn't like being not stuck in Guam. Guam is a beautiful island as well, but I really wanted to get home.
That's it. Guam is my country.
I really wanted to get home, and so there was a delay, but I got to land here during the day and see the islands and see Palau from the air, which kind of made up for the delay, at least for me personally.
Okay, this guy's name is user invalid?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the comment. sometimes they don't talk over the phone because we can recognize their voice and they don't like that. So what they do, they just email to her and then she write it.
No problem.
Anyway, quote, I understand that we need to pay taxes to help with the improvements and all, but I'm gonna work hard and have 50% of my money mismanaged.
Mm-hmm.
Corruption. Yeah.
Yeah.
I trust myself more to manage my own money than the government. I don't blame.
No, I agree totally.
Okay. And then 3 months old later, okay, if you identify as a male, there's another booster you need to take. What do they mean by that?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, well, can you write a little bit clear, like, I don't quite understand your comment or complaint or question, okay? So please write back and make it a little bit more clear, because you say, okay, if you identify as male, there's another booster you need to take. Does it make sense? Identify what? I mean, my sex preference? Okay, please write back. And you can call us, 488-4848, and ask your question. Any questions about military? Okay, we have Lieutenant Colonel Hunter is your middle name, right?
Yes.
Okay, J. Hunter Anson.
Yes.
Okay. And if you have any questions to Mr. Hunter or Officer Hunter, he's the retired Lieutenant Colonel, served 29 years in the United States Army. That's why I want to interview him. And he's here letting us know that military is not really bad. It just, if you have a good attitude, you can last long.
Yeah. They tell you everything you need to do.
Right. And so the vast majority of the people, those ones who pass the test, they call it, what's the name of that set entry?
ASVAB.
Yeah.
Army.
ASVAB.
Aptitude.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Anyway, there's a series of testing they do, and then when they pass, they wait until the delay entry program.
That's what I did. Yeah. I did the delayed entry program my senior year, so I actually went in the military in April, but I didn't go to basic training until August.
I see. So delay entry program, and after 29 years, you retired.
So the 29 years was not planned. I was gonna do 3 years, get the college money, because the college money was really good at that time, and go finish my degree and then maybe come back to Palau or do something else. And then I just, it's like you said, I mean, once you're there, it's not easy money, but it's like, it's a good job. It's pretty much, you're guaranteed a paycheck. It's competitive. You get promoted. You learn skills that can translate into a post-military life once you transition.
Stay out of trouble.
You stay out of trouble. It's
DUI.
Yeah. No DUI.
No, you got to make sure you don't. You can enjoy.
DUIs and drugs were probably because I worked as a military paralegal. That was my second job in the Army, and so processed a lot of those, and those were career killers.
Yeah.
Especially after the Cold War ended, and there was this massive drawdown of people. And so it was just a one strike, you're out. Like anything you did, they would.
That's when they released QMP.
QMP was a big thing. QSP.
Usually happened right after Vietnam War. They did the same thing. QMP. If your MOS is not needed anymore, they kick you out.
You're at risk. Yep.
They screen your records and they say, well, you got DUI, you're out.
Yes.
DUI, you don't stay. Overweight.
Overweight was another one.
Overweight. After 5 o'clock, you go and run and try to bring your weight. And if they give you 6 months to bring your weight down, if you don't, they kick you out.
Yes.
At that time when I was in, when Vietnam War came to an end, that's how they get rid of those mediocres or lifers.
Yeah. No, I mean, I waited till I was retired to gain weight. So.
Look,
I've gained some weight.
Well, but it's all paid for.
That's there you go. I'm enjoying retirement. I'm enjoying.
Yes, you're too fat. Hey, it's paid for. I don't know anything. Yeah, you know, you got about 5 more minutes. It's an hour show.
Oh, okay.
I really do appreciate. You know, I have tons and tons of comments and questions to ask you, but you can always come back. But I know you're going to be leaving by Friday. You say?
Saturday night or Sunday morning, the early Sunday morning flight.
Yeah. Anyway, just.
But I'll be back more frequently.
And when you come back, we can sit down and talk more in detail. You know, benefits. You know, if you go to school like Army pay, you put in $1 and they give you $1 or something like that. We need up-to-date information in regards to benefits. You know, in the military. But we don't really have time. You know, we just one-on-one. We're just talking.
No, it was great. It was great.
Yeah, I really have a good time talking with you, and you really surprised the hell out of me. You know, out of high school and went to the tele-entry program and then into military, and you didn't stop there, because once you get in, there's the lines of opportunities that you can take advantage of. But a lot of these young kids, they go in and do 3-4 years and get out, you know, and then work somewhere in U.S. And then 20 years later, shucks, a lot of them come to me and said, yes, if we only, you know, waited a little bit longer, we can be like you. But it's too late because you're already, 40?
Yeah.
If you know, so there's nothing in this earth easy. Everything is hard. But you got to find a way to get it working for you. Okay? You think about yourself because, you know, look, 29 years later, Lieutenant Colonel is getting paid for the rest of his life to include his family. There's a lot of benefits in the military. Yes, it's hard. You have to have a right attitude in order to stay in for 20 plus years. You know, in order to retire, you got to serve at least minimum of 20 years, is it?
20 years, yeah.
20 years, eh? And then after that, it's open. Yeah, you can stay in as long as you rank. You know, I think, for example, E6 only can stay up to 18 years, and if you don't make a promotion list or you don't get promoted to E7, you know, then also you're going to be told that you got to get out.
Yeah.
You know, so there's time in grade is in the play.
Yes.
You know, you cannot be E1 in 20.
The retention, they're called retention control points, where if you don't get promoted, you either move up or move out.
Yeah, they QMP you out.
QMP is as well, yes.
Yeah. And that once a year they do that. They review the records of all the military personnel, you know, and say promotable, retain, QMP.
No, I'd love to continue the discussion. I mean, I had some really great assignments. One of the assignments that was really great, but I didn't know it at the time. I worked at Human Resources Command as a assignment officer, so I saw the boards and how they manage people and things like that. So yeah, I'm happy to share my insight in that and anything else you want to discuss.
How old are you, may I ask?
I just turned 50 in March.
You don't look 50, man. You look like you're 40 years.
49 and a half.
Because you don't have wrinkles. You see the wrinkles I have in my forehead? That's stress.
Oh, I've had some stress. So I probably had more, but then I retired, and now I don't know.
Oh, so
they went away.
Oh, it went away.
You can reverse it. It
went away.
No Botox or anything like that.
You know,
natural.
We're different because, to me, I enjoy challenge. When somebody tells me, it's not going to work, you cannot do it, you know, and that's when I said, I'll show you I can.
Right.
You know, and I challenge anything comes my way. I say, it can, and most of the time, I get it to work. Just like this radio station. When I first came here, I said, I'm going to build my radio station. No, you cannot do it. You don't have enough money and knowledge to do it, DS. So I proved to the whole country that it can be done. And now, how many people, we got about 10 radio stations in Palau. Right. And about 5 television stations. Right. For such a small country of 20,000 people. Yep. But I motivated them by just my action. You say I cannot do it? Okay, I'll show you. And then once it's up running, they all want to own a radio station. They all want to have a TV station.
No, and things like programs like this, like the radio stations, the Facebook broadcast, the YouTube channels, those are very valuable for those of us who live off island. because we're able to make informed decisions to come back and understand what programs and initiatives are going on, to have those conversations and decide to return and contribute to the solutions and of making Palau a better place to live.
Pete, when they told you that you're going to be on interview, did they ask you?
Yes.
They asked you?
No, they told me.
They told you?
You need to go. I'm like, okay.
So, how did you feel? Diaz is the most controversial person here in Palau. You know, did you feel like, hey, this
No,
guy?
so one thing I did in the military, I've had media awareness training and I media engagement training, so I just went back to that, and it's...
So you didn't get, some people, a lot of people they get nervous when they say Diaz, they say, you know, they're afraid of my questions. Sometimes I ask a hard question.
Yeah, you threw a hard one at me about the economy, and I know my limits. I'm not an expert, but I'll answer the best I can.
Yeah, you did good. You know, so when you come back, can we do this again? Just when you have time, you know, hey, I want to come up and we chat. You know, talk about mainly benefits. And
I would love to.
Yeah, and how good Army, or how our Army or how military of the United States can be part of your life and make you a better person. You know.
Right. Yeah, and it's very different now. So you're a post-Vietnam vet. So they made a lot of changes and improvements. I went to Iraq twice. I did 2 years in Iraq and 8 years in Afghanistan, Bosnia, Kosovo, and so the transition process now is really geared towards taking care of you and making sure you're set up for success when you transition out. So it's not just, all right, you're not in the military anymore, you're on your own. It's more soldier for life. It's more inclusive. The Veterans Administration has a lot of great programs that you need to take advantage of. Yeah,
well, to tell you the truth, when they mentioned your name, and I said, I didn't know Jennifer had a brother. I said, yeah, there is an older brother. So how many brothers do you have?
There's the three of us.
Three of you.
Yes.
Okay.
One's in North Carolina. He was in the 82nd for
military,
like 10 years.
Oh yeah.
He settled in North Carolina after he got out, and then our younger brother, between me and Jennifer, he lives in Miami. He's a Microsoft engineer.
Wow. They never been to Palau.
No,
they were born and raised here.
Yeah. No, Joey comes back. Our younger brother, he got married at PPR.
Oh yeah.
9 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. Imelda was at the wedding. She filmed the wedding, and he comes back. Like me, he comes back to visit as often as he can.
Yeah. That's good. You know, sometimes I don't blame those Palauans that serve in the military and then decide to stay abroad, because they want to be near to medical facilities, they want to be near to commissary and PX, So that's the main reason why they stay out there, because medical benefits and others.
Right.
So they decide to stay there. But personally, I want to ask you to come home so we can team up. We have a veterans organization in Palau, but we need somebody strong like you to move in and lead, because right now the people that running the organization is not quite there, and if you come, we can get together and make it. I started the VFW, Veterans of Foreign War.
Oh, I'm a life member.
Yeah, and I started it, back there, that big parking lot where I was going to build a small, a facility that when the retired people, to include PTSD patients, they can come and we try to help them out, because that's the fourth suicide this year,
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth one, they just buried him last Sunday.
Right, Joy Gonzalez's son.
I think he had a PTSD. He was suffering from PTSD, and nobody really identified him and helped him out. So he took easy way out, which shouldn't happen. Mm-hmm. Okay, if somebody found him and assist him, but he took his own life by, commit suicide. So maybe when you come back, we can, organize and have somebody strong like yourself officer, you know better. You have all the latest information. You can share with us and make the organization strong that we can be part of the community and help those who are in need.
I'm happy to help any way I can.
Yeah.
The people that are here working hard.
Right.
Absolutely.
So we're coming to an end of this one-on-one show between you and me, and I really do appreciate that you found time to come here and talk with us, and we learned a lot from things that you said this morning. So I'm going to give you a microphone so you can say goodbye to our guest, and then we close our program.
So kung masulang tal malungilarang join raw tang adado. And to everyone, thank you for the questions that we had. There'll be more next time, and I'm just happy to be in Palau, and thank you for opening the borders up. I'm happy and really excited for the opportunities that are available now, and hopefully more of us will start coming back to Palau to be part of the solution.
Excuse me, the phone was ringing for so long, and I was reading the comments. So please call back. Call back if you have questions to Mr. Hansen. Okay, and while we're waiting for the caller, sometimes I'm too busy talking with you, and I don't see I don't see a person calling here. But I think it's coming. Yeah, incoming call. Yeah, let's see. This guy here is in Irai. Ali, ngil tutaw Irai.
Oye, ngil tutaw Mr. Diaz. Direkal mal close atangak direkal wa share mo kale retired Lieutenant Colonel J. Hunter. Hanson. Mong hakuk di otingi sei de buk marasai de hombre ada irel wase. Agi mal proud argao. Jay, keep up the good work.
Okay.
Yeah, I was listening to your very good talk with Mr. Diaz. Well, inspiring. So you continue to be an inspiration for us, all of us.
Okay.
From the young people to the elders. But there's a big question that I like to give to you to wonder.
Okay.
About the because of the pandemic and economy, Palau is really, it's going bad. The gasoline prices. And we have tel ngarmid to almis.
Oi.
Procure other ngarmid direct.
Proclaim.
Oh, ngam nga ngakip. Nga kalau rin ni obugura later roman matul.
Oi.
Amle one time do setia sebelmo omrula havenki.
I see.
Del toal.
The current. Current.
Current, yeah. So with that, maybe please make it a reality while we are still around, Mr. Diaz. Possible Maria begin a communication and start to take it. The Maria baby already to spell I give the operation.
Okay.
So that's my thing.
Right.
Thank you so much for a wonderful talk.
Okay.
God bless you, Mr. Anson.
Okay. Bye now. For your information, he's got a meeting at 10 o'clock, so you cannot hold him on, any longer than what he can afford to give us this morning. So let me just read this comment came from outside. Okay, and then we're going to close the program. Please. Okay, here's a comment. Sorry, I'm off island. Where? Washington or where? Shanghai, maybe. Sorry, I'm off island, so I can't call in. What? Yes, you can. Go through Messenger and we'll cut you. Just go to Alfonso Diaz and on the Messenger and call free of charge. You don't have to use that excuse like you're off island so you cannot get hold of us. Yes, you can. Okay, what I meant from previous comment, I feel like there's always going to be another reason later down the line to get another COVID vaccine. I don't know how to answer that question, would you? I don't know. Well, I don't understand what you're trying to... Going down the line where?
Like the previous
Yeah. Well, yeah, we don't have time because it's got to go, so we're not entertaining that, okay? I have that authority.
Hey, it's your show.
Yeah,
you're the boss.
Okay, and then he said, Listen, the last comment to say thank you both thank you both for your service and thank you for the great show. Oh, thank you. Where are you calling from? Saipan, Guam, Los Angeles, all these people all over the world. And you watch after the show, all kinds of comments,
Great.
Yeah, so we broadcast live on channel 26, local channel, and then we 88.5, 89.5, and then the YouTube, and then the Facebook, so we are heard all over the world. Anyway, Kamanong Saul. So thank you for your time. I know you have an appointment at 10 o'clock, so we cannot hold you any longer than that. Thank you so much, and welcome to Palau, and hope that you can return and help nation building.
What do you say?
Okay, bye-bye now. May God bless you all. Bye-bye.